Hey there, my Equalizer fans. It's your girl, Barbie J, and I am finally here with this week's recap and review of The Equalizer, Season 3, Episode 13, Patriot Game. And I am sorry I am delayed, but I am here with great news. I finally got water and heat in my house. I told y'all I went 3 weeks with no water and no heat. And I also went a week with cold water. That was the first week the last week in February. And then since March 4th, I haven't had water. And I finally got it. And I am feeling happy and blessed and thrilled and excited and all of that. So forgive me for being late, but I'm just getting my house back together after going through all of that craziness. So, of course, you know, I am back with another great episode. I'm going to give you a brief recap. You know, some of these detailed episodes are hard to put together into words because I have to watch it several times to try to understand what's going on. A lot of them, it takes a lot of details, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm giving you a brief recap. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. So let's get started. But first, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please take a moment right now, subscribe, like, comment, and share. All right, so this episode starts off with an operative killing all but one employee at this marine biology research group. And the one man who got away, named Devin, he escaped through a window and reached out to McCall for help. So now we have Aunt Vi, Robin, and Delilah. They're in the kitchen eating, and Robin is asking Dee if she wants to play cards, but you know, Dee informs them that she's going to the movies with Jackson from the boxing gym, and then she's spending time, you know, the weekend with her dad. So we don't see her for the rest of the episode after that. But, you know, Robin is letting her know, you know, if he makes a move, you give him a left, right, And they were like, girl, please. You know, Aunt Vi's like, you better stop that. So Dee leaves, and then Aunt Vi asks Robin about her social life. She's saying that, and, you know, it's been slow, really, whereas Robin called it non-existent. You know, Aunt Vi said, I was trying to be nice about it. But then Vi tells her that there's more to life than work and suggests that Robin set up a date with that handsome detective Dante. And Robin kind of smirks and tells her that, you know, things have been a little weird between them lately and that she's not sure where they stand. So Vi says she figured that out by just calling him and maybe he'll bring his handcuffs over. And Robin's like, oh, auntie. And Vi's like, don't act like you haven't thought about it, girl. You know you have. I was like, shit, I thought about it myself. Anyway, so Robin meets with Devin. That's the guy who got away, and tells her, you know, what he saw. He tells her and added that he left his phone at his desk and ran to the police station to report what he saw. But when he got there, the killer was standing in front of it waiting for him. So Devin is freaking out now because this guy knows who he is and where he lives and where his mom lives and that he's alive. And, you know, and Robin's trying to get him to calm down. He's really freaking. So then McCall got her, her the hard way team together, her, Mel, and Harry, and they joined forces with Carlton Fisk. This was interesting not to have Dante involved this week. I kind of like that. I like that it's back to them working together without always needing Dante's help. And then I appreciated the part where Dante, we get to see him, you know, in another setting. Let's put it that way. But anyway, so she gets her team together and they join forces with Carlton Fisk, and especially when they recognized him from a reflection in a car, you know, near the crime scene, but mainly when they discovered a connection between the murders and a secret CIA program that Fisk was involved in creating called Nomad. So I don't know what it is about Fisk, I'll be honest, but I don't trust him at all. He just seems so sneaky to me. Am I alone with that? Does anybody else feel that same way? You know, let me know down in the comment section. So Robin and Mel go to check out the scene of the crime, you know, and it's quiet and you can't tell that 8 people was just killed there. And then they recognized that if that office space was cleaned up in a matter of hours to show that nothing happened there, then they are dealing with some freaking pros up in here. So meanwhile, at the pool hall, we have Dante and Manny playing pool. And I'm enjoying this. We see him outside of that police element. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but every time he's out of that element and not with the police force, he got the little waves or twists, twists in his hair. Whereas when he's a police officer, it's a straight afro, nice and neat and even. But outside of work, it's the little twists. I was like, you better work them things out. They not tight twists, but you can see that he got a little something going on up there, right? And he be looking good like that. I don't care what nobody say. Dante be working it and working it. Anyway, let me stop talking about Dante. Anyway, so they're at the pool hall playing pool. They got the Isley Brothers playing in the background. What's that song, Footsteps? Why keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark, all in the dark. Ooh, why? Ooh, I love that song. They be singing, y'all be singing anyway. That's playing in the background, and they're talking and laughing about their lives growing up, their fathers, and why Dante stayed in Manny's father's gym working out all the time because of his father. And then Dante shared that his father is coming home from jail tomorrow. And Manny wants to know what he's going to do pertaining to Dante's relationship with his father. Because he could see it on Dante's face. He's not paying attention as much and he's missing easy shots. So he want to know, what's the dealio? What you going to do? So Dante's saying there's no relationship with him and his father, that ship has sailed. And he said that he can see his grandsons. And he said, but the first time of some smoke, he going to shut it down. He said, because now he get to control how things go, because those are his boys. Anyway, so after they finish shooting pool, Dante and Manny, they go outside. They make plans to meet again, next week. And they say that, I love you, man. I love when men say I love you and hug and all that stuff, but they didn't hug. They just did the, fist thing and all that. But then they turn and walk their separate ways. And then all of a sudden a car drives by and a man starts shooting at Manny. Boom, 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 boom. Dante turns, pulls out his gun and runs over to his friend yelling, Manny! And he called 911 for an ambulance. I was like, whoa. And he was in that ambulance like, he gonna live, right? He gonna live, right? But the ambulance, they didn't say anything because they don't know. It was touch and go for a minute. Then Robin, she meets with Fisk, who calls her mall cop. I don't know why he keep calling her mall cop. But anyway, and she lets him know that she doesn't trust him. She shows him a picture of the shooter who killed all those people at that office, wanting to know why he was over near that crime scene in the first place. And Fisk tells her that the guy's name is Carlos Ruiz. They have crossed paths before, and that he is a Nicaraguan Army Special Forces. So Fisk gives Robin a tip, and she lets Mel and Harry know that she and Fisk are going to Devin's apartment to see if Carlos is there. So Mel tells her that Devin feels better now that they brought his mother to the safe house with him, but he's still freaking out because someone tried to kill him and he doesn't know why. He's like, what did I do? So Robin gets there to the Devin's building, is outside looking around, not realizing that Carlos is looking right at her from a window above, and he has some sort of rifle or something with him. So he makes a call saying there's another player involved, and it seems like he was instructed to leave. So as he's exiting the elevator and rushing to leave the building, Fisk is right there and says a few words to him. And while Robin is outside, she's downstairs texting Fisk, asking what's going on. All of a sudden she hears the gunshots and she runs inside, and Carlos is on the floor dead. And she's like, Fisk, what did you do? We were supposed to question him and stuff. But like I said to y'all before, I don't trust Fisk. I don't know what it is about him. I just don't trust him. So Robin is upset because now they can't question him. He was their lead. And Robin pulls out Carlos' phone and said, well, we're going to try to get some answers now. Because, Fisk is like, you think I didn't want to answer him? But it was kill or be killed, something like that. So Carlos, like I said, she pulls out his phone and gets some info from the last person he called. Then she checks his forged American passport. She could tell it is forged. And Robin realizes that Carlos was working for the CIA. So Robin gave Harry the phone number that was that last number that Carlos had called, and it led him to one place he said that he could get thrown back in jail, and that was Langley. And he said he set his system up. It went berserk when he tried to look up that number because he had his system set up to alert him anytime he came near a CIA server. So now Fisk comes clean and shares more info with Robin to bring her up to date, because she's like, what the heck is going on, So now Robin gets home and is letting Aunt Vi know that she has some red velvet cake from Melba's. I want y'all to know that Melba's is approximately 5 blocks from my home here in Harlem. Yes, it is. Hey. But anyway, Aunt Vi is all dressed up and looking good. And Robin's like, I see you, Aunt Vi. I see you. She going to meet her girlfriend, Trish. So Robin asks if she want a piece of cake before her date. And Aunt Vi replies, I'm going to have my dessert later. I said, oh, girl, you better stop, Aunt Vi. You better stop. So then we're at the hospital with Dante when he gets a text message from Robin asking, what you doing? Got red velvet cake from Melba's and could use some help. But Dante replies back with a smile, rain check, got a situation. Like, can I get a rain check? Because he had a question mark. So she's like, dag, okay. But he's smiling, and that's when Manny wakes up and asks, what you grinning about, And he asks Manny, he's like, he calls the nurse in, Dante calls the nurse in, and she has him leave. But not before he asks Manny a couple of questions about the shooter, if he knew who it was, who did it, and all that stuff. And I think he told him at some point about the guys he had a little back and forth with at the gym. Not that he said that was who did it, but that was the only thing that had happened. So the nurse asks him to leave, asks, Dante to step out. Then we see Manny's son, Sean, who calls Dante Uncle Marcus. So they really did grow up together, because that's what we do. When y'all grow up together, y'all kids call your friends, uncle and auntie and all that stuff. So anyway, we learn that Manny and Sean have a strained relationship, and Dante tries to talk to Sean, but Sean says he only came to make sure that his father was going to live. That's it. If he's alive, I'm out. He said, peace. So he felt that his father cared more about that gym and helping others than his own family. And it seems Manny saw and possibly heard what his son said from his bedside, because you can see him looking through the glass at Dante. So during this time, we have Robin and Colton. They meeting with Director Thomas Platt of the CIA to share what they know, and to get updated on what's going on and who is working with whom, because they trying to understand stuff. At least Robin is. I think Fisk already knows the stuff. So the next morning, Dante tried to tell Manny that Sean didn't mean what he said, but Manny said, yes, he did. And he admits that he pushed his son hard, like his father was tough on him. And he feels that he pushed Sean away. And they admit that their fathers were like 2 peas in a pod. That Dante's father and Manny's fathers were the same way. They were hard on their sons and pushed them way too hard. But Manny admitted that Dante found a way not to push his son, his son's hard like his father did. So he's hoping that he could find a way as well. And Dante's telling him maybe it's not too late for him and Sean. And he's like, he hopes not. He hopes it's not too late, and wishes that he had a chance to, reconcile with his father before his father died. And he admits that he wished he had not passed his father's ways on to, his son the way that he did. But I could tell that the way those words he said about reconciling with his father before he died, those words struck Dante a bit. You can tell in the way Dante looked when he said it. Then we learn that Nomad is planning a false flag attack in New York. They're going to assassinate General Maxwell Stone, and that they need to warn him in person. And Robin knows he won't listen to them, but he will listen to Fisk. So she calls Fisk up and updates him with this information. And he is standing in Director Platt's office as he takes Robin's call and has her on speaker, but she doesn't notice. And Fisk tells Robin that he will meet, her there, and hangs up. Well, of course, Fisk wasn't there when General Stone arrived, and he wouldn't listen to Mel and Robin. And then Harry tells her, he doesn't think Fisk is coming, tells them that they could be walking into an ambush and to get the hell out of there. All of a sudden, their signal gets cut off. they start looking around at the hotel staff, and the next thing you know, they begin getting attacked by them. You know, shooting starts, and finally, after several minutes of gunfire, Fish shows up with some sort of fire shooting torch gun, which Fish called I think a flamethrower or something. And as quick as he showed up, Fish was gone after it was over. So Robin meets with Fish later on somewhere and tells him that they must, you know, make sure that Nomad is shut down permanently. And Robin doesn't want Director Platt to get away with the part that he played in all of this. So she asks Harry to send her a file from Platt. And he had all of this info on his private cloud and not secured on the CIA server, which made it easy for Harry to get a hold of that information and send it to Robin, who leaked that classified info to the press. And when they turned on the TV, we see a news anchor reporting that in a developing story, anonymous sources confirmed that an illegal CIA program has been caught targeting American citizens right here on U.S. soil, all with the blessing of CIA Director Thomas Platt, and it's known as the Nomad. So after that, Platt, I think he resigned or something like that happened. I don't know if he got arrested, but I think he resigned from his position. Anyway, so now we see Robin. She goes to inform Devin that it's all over and he doesn't have to be afraid anymore. And Devin is still stuck on not understanding why it happened. And Robin tells him that it had nothing to do with him. So he thanks her again and he goes about his happy-go-lucky life. And it ends with Dante's pops being released from prison, the Cartwright Correctional Facility. And as he starts walking to the halfway house, Dante rolls up to give him a ride. I said, uh-oh. And Ben said, I told you I didn't need anything. And Dante said, well, I'm here anyway, get in. And he asked Dante, what are you doing here? And he said, with Mom out of town, I figured you needed a ride. Ben was like, I was fine walking the 23 miles. So he tells him, well, since you want to, you know, give me a ride, you could drop me off at the halfway house on 57. But Dante said, I could do that, or we could stop at the Bum or something like that. I think he called it the Bum. And he pulls out this case and gives it to Ben, and it's Ben's pool cue, and he's surprised that Dante still had it. So Dante said, I figured we could shoot a few games and catch up, and Ben said, I would like that. And that's how it ended. I was like, oh, that was so nice. Got a little tear in my eye. Oh. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying, see you in the next video. Peace.